What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's up? What's good, everybody? Sixth element hip hop here. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is your co-host, Stu Dog and Sada. And we got a guest coming on. Let me just help him for a minute. But yeah, this is the Kevin Conroy tribute show. We're gonna talk a lot about Kevin Conroy and his passing, because this is DC Power Hour, where we talk about DC comics, DC news, DC movies, film shows, all that good stuff. And so we're big fans, big fans of Kevin Conroy, and so this hit us all pretty hard. So we're gonna talk about that. But a few things we want to talk about, clear up, a little tidbits. What's good? Norn Rad in the building. Corey Adger, salute. All right, let me try to get this dude in here. What's going on? Easiest way to create. Why is it doing that? Hang on. All right, so I gave him the. All right. You guys, when you log into StreamYard, do you get this? Is this the first thing you see? I'm sorry. It says the easiest way to create professional live streams, and then it asks for your email address. Get started.
No, because I have an account. That's usually there if you don't have an account yet, I guess, and they want you to like set up your thing, and then you go. I guess I don't know.
Just doing it.
Mine just logs on. It tells me. Yeah, mine just says enter your name, and then there's a blue button at the bottom that says enter studio. Checks your mic and your camera, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a guest, you shouldn't have to do that. Only if you're setting up a stream yourself.
Yeah, for real. Hold on, let me email. What's your email? Let's do it that way. So yeah. So last Saturday, DC Power Hour, we were talking about Gotham Knights, the video game, and I made a mistake. I did, and I want to clear it up.
Oh,
please, God damn it! Let's go. Here we go. Hold on. Sorry about this. Shit. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to log in. It's like some people can just pop right in. Other people, it's just it takes them through all this crap. Oh man, now I can't even do it that way. Oh, you really driving me nuts. All right, let's see. cjdsurf@gmail.com. This better work, dude. We better have some good stuff to talk about when you get on here too. No, just kidding. All right, there it is. There we go. That should work. God, I hope so. Okay.
let me use the bathroom real quick.
Well, some people just aren't. It always, because everybody knows how to work Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. But when it comes to simple things to get you online and get you up
right now,
they're clueless. They get clueless. That always bothers me.
Sorry about that. All right, so let me see. Did it work? We'll see in a minute. So, all right, so sorry about that. Well, damn, Reno, you admitting you're making a mistake. It's going to be a cold winter. It's a cold day in hell. I know. No, I admit when I make mistakes. It just doesn't happen very often. So that's why we don't we don't see it that much. You know, it's a rare occurrence, you know. But when it happens, I get down. But no, so I had alluded or said or we said that Gotham Knights was a sequel to the Arkham games, or even in some way like connected like that. But in fact, it is not. The simple answer is no. But Gotham Knights, you know, like I said, it takes place in its own continuity that's completely separate from the Arkham games. I just thought that it was connected because of the similarities and because of the kind of the way it started, and I forgot how Arkham ended, and I was like, oh yeah, Arkham ended with the mansion burned down, and that's kind of how this one started. But I completely forgot at the end of Arkham, the mansion's burnt down, but Batman doesn't die. He's the one that burns it down, him and Alfred, and then he goes and becomes the super, you know, he's got the super bat powers with the scarecrow toxin that he, you know, does shit. So, but like I said, Gotham Knights own universe, because the Batman who dies in the opening scene is a different Batman, and every other character in this game that you may have previously encountered in Arkham is a different version of that character. So while people think it's related because, oh, this girl's in it and that guy's in it, and they're different versions of the character, and we know how that works with comics and stuff. But and as to why that's the case, the closest thing that exists as an answer comes from WB Games director Patrick Redding, who opened up about the decision in the game's official Discord server. He said, we wanted to be able to interpret and adapt the characters, that's both the heroes and the rogues gallery, in new ways that would support a new player experience and progression. And we wanted to be able to write the history of these characters with an original story without being tied to any particular continuity or feature set. So, like all Batman adjacent stories, Gotham Knights shares plenty of basic building blocks with, you know, other well-known tales. But even though it's not the same timeline or universe as the Arkham games, characters will make references to familiar events that happen. Like, for example, Harley Quinn mentions doing some government work. Clearly, the Suicide Squad exists within this version of the universe. As for whether this version of Gotham is a place worth visiting, you guys, you know, check it out, have fun. But yeah, so I just wanted to clear that up. Anywho, on to the oh, my man is in the building. Los, what up?
What up, guys?
You made it through. What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. I was worried that wasn't gonna work. All right, cool. So we were just talking about last week's show and a correction that I had to make. But man, so let's get into this. So Kevin Conroy, the actor who became Batman for generations of fans when he voiced the Dark Knight in the iconic Batman the Animated Series and Justice League cartoons that I grew up with, and a plethora of video games, including the Arkham Knight franchise we were just talking about, has passed away. He was 66 years old. I'm sure everyone's heard this. It's not breaking news at this point, but we just want to tribute, you know, to someone that is iconic, especially in our, you know, our circles and our world, because he is, you know, he is Batman. Like, if there's any Batman anything that's not live action, it's Kevin Conroy. I can't read a Batman comic and not hear Kevin Conroy. You know what I'm saying? So, but first reports of Conroy's passing after a brief battle with cancer came from Diane Pershing, who played Poison Ivy opposite Conroy in the Batman animated series, before being confirmed by Warner Brothers Animation. And they, she said, or no, the casting director said Kevin was far more than an actor whom I had the pleasure of casting and directing. He was a dear friend for 30 plus years, whose kindness and generous spirit knew no boundaries. And yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, his career as an actor began with a role in a soap opera, Another World, before a stint in the theater throughout the early 80s. And he's a gay man. Like, Conroy's gay. Like, he's like super out, super proud. Like you know, he's not. It's like a known thing. So if you know about him, you know that because he's very proud of that. And Conroy's acting career came hand in hand with the rise of the AIDS epidemic, which is a subject that he went on to write about in this year's DC Comics Pride issue. And after regular roles on TV, including appearances in Dynasty, Tour of Duty, um, he really like became ingrained in comic fans' brains when he landed the role for Bruce Wayne and Batman in 1992 in the Batman the Animated Series. Bro, I religiously like ran home after school every day to watch this show. Like that was my shit at the time. And Conroy's duality as both Playboy Bruce Wayne persona and the tragic tortured Batman was two different voices. Like he didn't like most actors or whatever, they're Bruce Wayne, they're Batman, it's the same guy. But I think Christian Bale might be the only one that really changed how he talked when he was Batman. But yeah, he was so similar and so different when he did his different interpretations of the Dark Knight to audiences, basically making him the Batman of a generation, generation after generation. Because my son is 18 years old, and he's into voice acting. He wants to be a voice actor and stuff, and but he's a big fan. Like, so that's generations. You know what I'm saying? Right there, and as he continued to voice the character from the Batman animated series in continuations like movies like Mask of the Phantasm, as well as the successor series, The New Adventures of Batman and Batman Beyond as well, and other DC animated shows like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Sada, I think you just said you were binging the Justice League joints.
Yes, I was all day today.
Yep. So he's been all over the place. His vocal presence and his reach, lead to him continuing to voice the Dark Knight in the decades since the animated series in multiple different mediums, like video games, like I said, the Batman Arkham trilogy, the Injustice fighting games, and more games. I can't think of them all, but several films in the DC animated universe. Like he went on to play a live action version of Bruce Wayne in the CW DC TV show crossover event Crisis on Infinite Earths. He said, it's a quote that he said, a mask of confidence to the world and a private one racked by conflict and wounds. Right, he said that about the duality of Batman and his identity as an out gay man. And in his DC Comics Pride story, Finding Batman, he said, could I relate to that? They asked, was I my public face or my private face? Had I made too many compromises? My heart pulsed. I felt my face flush. My breath grew deeper. I began to speak, and a voice I didn't recognize came out. It was a throaty, husky, rumbling sound that shook my body. And with that rumbling sound, Conroy defined the voice that became the Batman for legions of fans, generations, decades, and will remain to be even after his passing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be a tough one to replace. Carlos, what's some of your memories, man, of Conroy?
It is like you say, even if you are not watching it, if you're reading it, his voice is in your head. It's iconic already. There's so much stuff. Decade of programming that replacing it is going to be really hard. If they don't find anyone that can emulate his voice, it's going to be really difficult to imagine it. So
yeah, like Slade said, it's all fracked up now. What we gonna do now, huh? It's all fracked up.
Yeah. Even if I wasn't like the biggest DC in comic books, I had watched everything animated.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're an artist yourself. You do a lot of coloring and stuff. Have you done any like Batman pieces or animated series pieces lately?
not yet, because um monochrome or like black and white and white colors are
Mm-hmm.
like hard to
Mm,
match. So Batman are like really less, but I did a couple of Alex Ross Batman a while ago. So
nice. Yeah, I can't wait to
yeah,
see those.
I just have to look for them and work with them.
Yeah.
That it's it is out there. It's just a matter of working with them.
Hmm. Yeah, let me know when you do. I want to see it.
Oh, we'll do. We'll do. I need to do it now because I need to
Yeah,
honor him.
yeah. Perfect timing. That's right. Um, I got this little video. It's like a minute. Bruce Wayne, just a little sort of, what do you call it? Example of how what I was talking about, how his Bruce Wayne voice
Homage.
differs from his Batman voice. You know, what I'm saying? A little comparison. Check it out. Check it out.
I didn't realize you'd taken up listening to rock and roll, sir.
You know, I actually did check this against any musical sounds. Computer still can't come close to pinpointing it.
Wayne Manor, one moment, please. A call for Master Bruce from a Dr. March.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
You have bats, Mr. Wayne. Common brown bats. They shouldn't pose a problem. As the weather gets colder, they'll move on.
What about the sound on the tape?
It's actually two sounds, starlings and brown bats. Probably fighting over a nest in your chimney.
Appreciate the help, Doc. I'll return the favor next time you're raising funds. Bye-bye.
This computer checked that fiber against every animal species known to man.
That was dope. Man, he's got that golden Bruce Wayne voice, and just goes back into the Batman. That's dope.
That was funny.
So what's his name? Mark Hamill was played the Joker, as you know, as we know, and he did a tribute or not a tribute. What did he said? It was like a he wanted to pay a tribute. So he said I think he played something. He says Kevin was perfection. He was one of my favorite people on the planet, and I loved him like a brother. He truly cared for the people around him. His decency shone through everything he did. Every time I saw him or spoke with him, my spirits were elevated. He said, for several generations, he's been the definitive Batman. It was one of those perfect scenarios where they got the exact right guy for the exact right part, and he was, and the world was better for it. His rhythms and subtleties, tones, and delivery. And Kevin was a brilliant actor for several generations. He has been the definitive Batman. But yeah, and that's coming from like one of the great voice actors of our time. People don't realize Mark Hamill has done way more after Star Wars than, you know what I'm saying, in voice acting than he ever did in live action. So that's high praise. He said that also helped inform my performance. He was the ideal partner. It was such a complimentary, creative experience. I couldn't have done it without him. He will always be my Batman. And I think what did he say? Yeah, Mark said, he said, we hear the opening theme with the strings and lush colors. It was incredibly dramatic. And I looked at Mark and said, Oh, that's not Mark talking, is it? I looked at Mark and said, "Did you have a clue this is what we were doing?" He said, "No, I'm blown away. We both felt we were part of something really special." And this is Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thizzle on I think this is Arkham. Check it out.
You're not safe here. No one will worry about me. You're needed out there.
I've been doing the character now for 20 years. The audience knows him as well as I do. They would know in a second if I did something inauthentic, and they'd call me on it.
Get out of my way, Quinn.
Leave us alone, B-Man!
I said move!
Surprise! You fell for the old sick Joker guy, Batman.
There's something about scary clowns, you know, that it just creeps people out.
But you of all people should know, there's plenty wrong with me.
His purpose in Batman's orderly world is just to mess him up big time.
Take my blood, for example. I wish somebody would. This stuff is killing me.
Why should I care?
Because now, there's a teeny little bit of me in you too, Bats.
He gets great joy out of just the most sadistic, oddball things.
Imagine sucking down that last breath knowing that Gotham is doing the same.
What are you talking about?
Oh, didn't I say? I've spent weeks shipping samples of my blood to emergency rooms all over the city.
Because of the complicated character, Bruce Wayne and the Joker, there's a sort of a mutual respect there. Even though he knows he's insane, and he knows he has to be controlled, he would never want to kill him. Whereas the Joker is constantly trying to kill Batman.
Hold tight.
Dude, Hamill's the GOAT. Hamill's the GOAT Joker, and Conroy's the GOAT Batman.
Oh my god, it just totally caught me off guard. Like his passing, he won't be replaced. He won't at all, actually, because more than anything, he understood who Batman and Bruce Wayne is as a character, and he put that into his performance every single time. That's why you see some of these other actors, voice actors who may get the role, and Bruce and Batman sound the exact same because at their core they don't really understand the character. Conroy did, and that's why he won't be replaced. He really won't. It's just the same vein as Mark Hamill. So it's just so sad, but he was great. He was just amazing.
Definitely. Stu Dog, ain't heard from you yet. What's up, man? What's some memories about?
It's so sad, man. I remember. I don't know, man. I watched. I didn't know much about him when I first started watching the animated series, and when they finally came out on disc, I used to, I don't know. It was a thing back in the '90s to watch the special features and all that. I watched a lot of that, and I was like, wow, this dude, like he was convincible Batman. I was like, wow, this Joker sound like, he real like a real Batman. But what got me was he played Batman in Mask of the Phantasm. He played Batman in Mr. Freeze SubZero, and those are two dope, iconic, movie theater releases back then. I was like, dang, he sound like the guy, sound like the same voice actor. So I look it up as him. But the one that really got me, the one that really stood out to me, was when he did Arkham Asylum. Nobody knew he was going to be on the project. We didn't know. Everybody was scared, and for rightly so, because that was the voice of Batman. Like we had already had like a good handful of shows. Justice League Unlimited already came out by then. It's 2009. Rocksteady announces this game. We're like, wait a minute. Kevin Conroy gotta be Batman, and Mark Hamill better be the Joker, or we ain't playing this game. And Rocksteady listened.
Real.
They listened. They gave it to us, and I remember watching it on the DVD. They were saying how when Mark Hamill came up with the voice for the Joker, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
Tim Russ and them, they wanted him to do something different. They said they wanted him to sound like a scary clown. Like they didn't want him to sound like Joker in the past. They wanted him to sound like
Yeah.
Mark Hamill
Like a
was like he
maniacal,
was like
psychotic.
yeah, he's think anything. So he said I did the voice, and they were like, wait, what is that? Like do that again. And then he said I
Yeah.
did the laugh, and they fell in love with it. And he said we ran with that after that. And so he was saying how like Kevin backed him up on it. Was like, yeah, do that. That sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the voice to the Joker was born. He said once Kevin put the stamp on it, he was like, yeah, that sounds better. That sounds a lot better. He said it sounds like a scary clown. Like, and that was the whole, but after the Arkham series, Mark Hamill claimed he would never do the Joker voice again. But he did it. He did it in Flash.
Yeah.
Flash episode when he came back as Toy Maker. He did it in a couple, animated shorts after that. But I can't imagine watching an animated flick or anything without hearing Kevin Conroy's voice. He is Batman.
I know.
Yeah. And he played
The
Thomas
Arkham
Wayne.
series,
He also
like,
played Thomas
really
Wayne in that too. Yeah, he also played Thomas Wayne in the Arkham series.
Yeah. And this so this is the Arkham Joker. What you call him? And I didn't really like the design, but it was the fact that Mark Hamill, you know what I'm saying, voiced it, and just the way it was played and
It
all of
brought it
that.
to life.
That's why I got it. That's why I got this. Because I wasn't like a super fan of the way the Widow's Peak and all of that, but that's Hamill Joker right there. That's
if you beat the game, if any of you ever beat the game, at the end of the game, that's dope. At the end of the game, Mark Hamill sings. He starts singing. I forget the name of the song he sings at the end, but he sings it for a good minute, and he sings it in the Joker voice, and it's kind of creepy to hear, but when you listen to it, like, dang, like he really put all into this, man. So it's interesting to hear him play Joker and Kevin Conroy's Batman, because he just has the Batman voice. Except for Batman the not animated series, Brave and the Bold, he didn't voice Batman in Brave and the Bold. He voiced Batman.
Nor what was that other one?
But he did do a cameo. He did do a cameo. He was Batman of ZERO.
He didn't do Batman in. I don't think he was Batman in Batman Ninja either.
I don't think he was Batman Ninja either. No.
I've got a list of 14 movies roles that he actually played Batman, and I've got little clips of from every one of them. So we're definitely gonna check those out because he is like Kevin Conroy is Batman.
He's Batman
for the last 30 years. Comic book fans have understood this to be, gospel. Like, it's been 30 years. I mean, just like the sentiment that Batman animated series is both the the greatest superhero cartoon of all time and one of the best TV shows ever made. Batman has received,
it's true,
you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And
Batman, I'm
Batman,
like you too, when I read a comic, that's the voice I hear in my head. I hear Kevin Conroy's voice talking as Batman whenever I see him.
And because of the success of it, I mean, Batman has received the most share of the big budget adaptations with A-list stars. You know what I'm saying? Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Robert Pattinson. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's Conroy's voice that fans probably hear in their head, given how much of his voice acting career has been, you know what I'm saying, basically just playing Batman. And I don't think since the late, Adam West's 1960s Batman TV show had a comic book adaptation so fervently define the character for an entire generation. You know what I'm saying? Between its timeless dark deco portrayal of Gotham City, you know what I'm saying? That 40s sort of weird, I don't know, that this vibe of those old school, like It reminded me of the first Superman cartoons, the silent ones back in the 30s, and introducing, original characters like Harley Quinn came from that show. You know what I'm saying? Renee Montoya, or single-handedly retconning Mr. Freeze's backstory overnight with the Heart of Ice episode, which won the show a Daytime Emmy Award. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's an original, that's not source material. You know what I'm saying? That basically has become source material. And the majority of the animated series creative decisions have become core fixtures of DC's comic world. You know what I'm saying? It's actually spilled back to the comics. And on top of that, the show spawned a theatrical tie-in with Batman Mask of the Phantasm, whose storytelling quality outshined the live-action Batman movies and kickstarted the entire DC animated universe, which is the gold standard of shared universes and the best animated superhero shit out there. And Batman the Animated Series was an undisputed trailblazer for this whole superhero media, and a large part of it rested on the shoulders of Kevin Conroy's voice. Like that was, I mean, can you imagine like that show with another voice? Like I can't even imagine it. It just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it wouldn't have even been as dope. It wouldn't.
There you go.
And you know,
I love that.
Let me blow it up for you, Carlos. There you go. Nice.
Oof.
You just colored that real quick?
Yeah.
Skills.
That's Alex Ross.
That's Alex Ross. Yeah. Dang. I got that Alex. I didn't know he was doing DC joints. I got the Alex Ross Marvel covers. I didn't know he did the DC joints.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh.
Reno, I got a
You know, like
Alex
the
Ross DC
solid white cover with just the bust of the character.
Oh, so he's doing the same he did with Marvels.
Okay.
He has a website. If you go on Alex Ross's website,
Yeah, he does.
there's a lot of DC stuff on there, man.
Okay.
Some of it's a bit pricey, but that's the price you pay for art. It's the price you pay for art. That's all I can tell you.
That Justice League one, they imitated the poster for the movie off of that.
Oh my god!
Cover. Yeah, he's done a lot. It's been pretty great.
You should see the JSA ones he has up there, man. They're phenomenal.
The JSA ones are great.
I just got one. I just got a Shazam one, a giant Shazam one that he did.
He did Shazam and Black Adam.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's his Daredevil. And,
check your mail. Send you that in the Instagram. The Batman.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
You know, Conroy also redubbed Christian Bale's Batman lines for an animated version of one of the film's trailers for The Dark Knight. And it was dope. It was super dope.
That's dope.
It was super dope. Because I know a lot of people ragged on Christian Bale about his Batman voice.
Yeah, bro.
It wasn't the best.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't the worst.
It wasn't. But people ragged on him about it. They get on him.
People did, yeah.
It didn't bother me either, but a lot of people hated it. They just were like, "Why did he sound like that?" Because
I just felt bad for his vocal cords.
Yeah, I bet that.
Because you gotta remember, because Michael Keaton. You gotta remember Michael Keaton and Kevin Conroy. They put Kevin Conroy first as being the one that actually came up with a second voice for Bruce Wayne. Like had two separate voices. It had two separate voices because
Conroy was not the first actor to give Bruce and Batman separate voices. Both
but he's credited as
he's credited as approached their roles from a similar angle, but he definitely is the first one to do it in animated, as a voice actor for sure.
Oh,
but the way Conroy deepened his voice didn't just make Batman feel distinct. He made the gritty, intimidating vigilante sound like a completely different person, and in turn causing Bruce to feel like a mask Batman inhabited when not wearing the cowl. Like the way he did it, it was like, you know what I'm saying? He was Batman and Bruce was the character that he was playing. And that's what I love about Batman. When it's portrayed that way, he is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the fucking act. You know what I'm saying? That's who he's pretending to be. That's his character that he plays for the world. It's just like Superman. Superman's the only superhero that they get their costume is the alter ego. Like his Superman costume is really his real clothes that he came with from, you know, from his planet. That was his, like that was the blankets he had with him. Like that was his shit. So that's his real, you know what I'm saying, who he is. So when most, you know, when Spider-Man puts on a Spider-Man costume and now he's Spider-Man, Superman is born Superman. He puts on the Clark Kent costume. And
yeah, Clark Kent's his alter ego, right? People don't realize that. Clark Kent's his alter ego. Superman is who he really is because he's Kal-El.
Exactly. Right.
And people don't realize that because, like, a lot of people say, well, how is it that he has on the glasses? I said, no, you got to understand. He's disguising himself. You know what I mean? He's really Superman. He just blends in as Clark Kent. That's all. And he just act like he's just not coordinated, things of that nature.
Yeah. More so, Conroy pulled from the best of Adam West and Michael Keaton's characterizations. Because and as Bruce, he was like charming and witty and philanthropic, but never fully obvious to the outside events like West's affluent patriarch, you know, style, or later on, Christian Bale did the carefree, you know, billionaire playboy version, and you know, his superhero tools and vehicles mimicked Keaton's Batman iconography. The Batmobile looked a lot like Keaton's Batmobile, but could perform far more impressive feats thanks to the animated, you know, medium. And Conroy offered a more well-rounded Batman, Bruce, than fans were used to. One whose relationships with allies like Dick Grayson and the villains like Two-Face were fleshed out, you know, farther across 4 seasons, or even 22-minute episodic short stories than most films accomplished in 2 hours. And it was a groundbreaking. And that development made for greater layers to the character. Being a Juilliard school graduate that Conroy was, he was well versed in theater and Shakespearean work, and he understood how to give Batman's stories a melodramatic edge. That's why he was not green, you know what I'm saying? He came into it a seasoned actor from Juilliard, you know what I'm saying? But Conroy could also make Batman seem lighthearted and funny, or awkwardly romantic, or a source of comfort to ordinary people and tragic, you know, supervillains. But these were traits, you know, to the misguided belief that Batman's only personality trait is being a grim, angsty creature of the night, because Conroy just basically, you know, threw that shit out the window and gave it, you know, a full fleshed out personality. And more often than not, Batman the Animated Series presented Batman as a fallible, you know, tragic, or even physically vulnerable dude, and a hero forever living in the shadow of the waging a war on all criminals promise that he made after seeing his parents murdered, you know. And the episodes like in season 1, episode number 30, Perchance to Dream, or episode 49 in season 1, I Am the Night, repeatedly addressed that, you know, this side of Batman's psychology, recognizing that underneath all the near superhuman will, he's still just a human being with no powers, you know, and he's got wants and self-doubts, and he must overcome these, you know, no matter what the, you know, the risks. And hence the, you know, why the infamous I Am Vengeance scene remains so beloved from that. And it's a declaration of pushing beyond fear and redirecting one's trauma toward a better cause, like making lemonade out of lemons, you know what I'm saying? And with Conroy perfectly conveying the pain and perseverance through his line delivery alone. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, a voice actor don't have facial expressions and body language to help sell his act or whatever performance. Right. He's just got his voice. And Batman's duality was something that, like you said, Sada, you put so well, that Conroy fully understood personally. And I think because he was a homosexual, in the book Finding Batman, the autobiographical story Conroy wrote for DC Pride #1, the actor opened up about how being gay while working in New York during the AIDS crisis forced him to embrace dual identities. And so he adopted a public face for the world to find him socially acceptable, and a private one to mask, not only his sexuality, but also his painful family trauma, the deaths of so many friends, and his fears in a homophobic entertainment industry. And Batman, as he was told during his audition, had a similar dichotomy: a mask of confidence to the world and a private one racked by conflict and wounds. That's the quote that he's and channeling those tragic experiences helped Conroy make Batman an extension of himself. You see what I'm saying? And contributing to the power of his performance in every episode. That's why it was so grand. I mean, it was so epic. I mean, I don't think any other kids cartoon even comes close. No, it don't. Because the animated movies, the DC movies, are like, you know what I'm saying? They're like rated R films. They're not for kids at all.
Yeah, they're epic. And they're epic. They're very epic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like at the heart of Conroy's Batman story was the pathos surrounding a life that Bruce Wayne committed himself to. Because after all, the tragedy and at the heart of Mask of the Phantasm's origin story is that young Bruce had a chance at happiness, but perceived it like an act of self-betrayal. Like he wasn't allowed to be happy. So much so that in one of the film's most sort of emotional scenes, Bruce physically begs his parents to their grave to let him out of his crime-fighting vow, as if he needs their ghosts, to forgive him for wanting a normal life. And it's only when that door is forcibly closed that he concedes to becoming Batman. And that's just what it is. And it's a moment framed less as a triumphant moment and more like a second death, of his innocence. It's a tragic, he's one of the most tragic superhero stories. And I think it's that balance between tenacious hero and tragic outsider that made Batman such a presence in the DC animated universe, and its scope expanded across. And then Superman, the animated series he was in, and Justice League and Batman Beyond, he gained new allies, friends, and proteges to sort of continue his mission.
And Brave and the Bold.
The Brave and the Bold.
Which is my favorite.
Yeah.
That's a really good show. That one and the Batman from 2005. That one's underrated, but really good also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Batman. Yeah, the Batman. Yeah, that is underrated.
Yeah. That's
very underrated. It is. It's super good.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, watch that if you have a chance. Just go watch the Batman.
For real.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I think hearing Conroy's voice almost feels like confirmation of a DC product's viability. It's countless animated movies have either brought him back to play Batman solo or alongside his Justice League, co-stars, which cements them as equally definitive voices for their DC characters because they were working with Conroy. And when Batman Arkham Asylum's first teasers came out, Conroy and Hamill's voice work, like you said, Stu, sold the game. Like that was part of what made people go, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying about that game. And at least before the final game, blew everybody's expectations away and created a franchise that's apparently come to an end, but is an epic franchise. But so many different shows and movies and stuff. This is a little montage put together here of his different roles, and check this. All right, so check it out. Boom.
No, not now. You are a disgrace.
No, you are not my father. I am not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman!
It's another cave, all right. Could be as big as the house, judging from the number of bats that came out of it. Alfred, what's wrong?
This just arrived, sir.
Left with Dad. Too young. Need time. Forget about me. Make it easy on yourselves, ladies. Where's your pretty boss?
Flattery will get you nowhere, Batman. Except to an early grave.
Wow, that's old.
She almost had me, you know. Arms and legs chained, dizzy from the blood rushing to my head. I had no way out other than convincing her to call you. I knew your massive ego would never allow anyone else the honor of killing me. Though I have to admit she came a lot closer than you ever did. You'll be rid of me. As soon as I find the Joker.
That may not be soon enough.
It doesn't take much, does it? The Joker has 20 pounds more where this came from. Thought you might like to know. Alfred, run this list of medical supplies I found on Belson's desk. I want to know what this stuff would be used for. Cross-reference it against all likely medical procedures.
Very good, sir.
Yeah, Norrin Rad. 92 is when the animated series started. But yeah, that's just a few of them. There's plenty more. Here goes some more. You want to see some more? Yeah.
Why were you so sure those voices weren't coming from you?
Well, first, I know I'm not psychotic.
I hope your other reason's more convincing.
And second, the voice kept calling me Bruce. In my mind, that's not what I call myself.
What do you call yourself? Oh yeah, I suppose you would. But that's my name now.
Tell that to my subconscious.
It's funny. I know about all your other major enemies, but you never mention him. He was the biggest, wasn't he?
It wasn't a popularity contest. He was a psychopath. A monster.
So how is it possible he could still be around after all this time?
It's not possible. He died years ago.
You're sure?
I was there. Run a profile on this woman. Her name's Mary Flynn.
Sure. Is she in some kind of trouble?
It's the Joker. And maybe more. Something about this woman doesn't add up. I'm gonna work on the obstacle course. Run Alfred's training program for me.
Sure thing.
Wayne Powers owns an interest in the mall. I was given this vid as a heads up, before it even leaks to the news.
Zeta?
It won't be long before Agent Bennett sees what we're seeing.
Are you sure it's him?
The mall's security system was damaged, but I was able to resolve one more clip.
He swore he wouldn't kill anymore.
It's in his programming.
And then what happened?
My research opened whole new worlds. There was so much to do.
But so little funding.
You know about that.
You didn't have enough for research subjects, so you used yourself.
And now I'm a freak.
That's not what I see. I see someone who was willing to give up everything for a cause she believed in.
How do you know so much about me?
Let's just say cats aren't the only...
Video games, you know what I mean? CGI shows, movies, you name it. If Batman needed a voice actor, it was Conroy. Yeah, there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more. Check it out. Check it out.
Glad I caught you before you did something stupid.
Excuse me?
Carter Hall.
What about him?
I did some research. His birth name is Joseph Gardner.
You lie.
No. 6 months ago, he had it legally changed to Carter Hall. He's an archaeologist, currently curator of the Midway City Museum. Had an excellent reputation until about 5 years ago, when he started claiming that aliens landed in ancient Egypt.
Aliens? Well, then he must be a lunatic, because we all know that there's no life on
See
our
any
planet.
clothing?
Just his shoes. Lots of grease, some metal shavings.
On the top or the bottom?
Top.
Which means...
He wasn't walking. They dragged him.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
This'll help him recover from the Joker's gas.
The Joker...
I ain't know he was in static.
Here in Dakota? Why did he hog-tie Ferret? And what's with that note, missing you?
He's bored. He needs an opponent who can measure up.
Hey, I can measure up.
I have no idea who she is.
Because if you had, I'd be really upset. Because I thought you and I were, you know.
Barb, we're going through the East Tunnel now. Afraid signal's breaking up. Talk later.
That was funny.
Again, didn't you?
I never fail to marvel at your narrow escape, sir.
One female battle. Commissioner.
Batman, there's been a riot at Stonegate Prison. Escaping criminals are flooding the city and attacking innocent citizens. I'm just getting this. There's trouble at Arkham Asylum.
What kind of trouble?
I don't know. I can't raise the warden. The technical squad is on the way. Oh my.
What is it?
He's kinda hot.
Take me. Let the boy go.
Gosh, I could kill you, Batman, but then you'd miss my party. And you, Batman, you're the guest of honor.
What do you...
Storyboard sequence.
Oh yeah, don't sleep on Static. He had a lot of crossovers in his show. Batman was there, crossed over with the Justice League, so he was there again, I'm pretty sure. Green Lantern, yeah, he had a couple crossovers.
Oh, Static, yeah, Static had, yeah. The show was good.
Yeah,
Static. That's the only Dakota-verse character that DC ever really did something with.
Yeah,
everybody
pretty
else
much.
was just put on the shelf. Yeah, they just put on the shelf to rot.
Well, that little montage that I just did, I just played 3 2-minute videos. There are 4 more like that with different shit that he's done, which I could sit here and play 2, 4, 6, 8. It's like 10 more, even 10, 12 more minutes worth of stuff. So it's a lot. I don't know if you guys are entertained by that. If this is boring,
do you have the one that Damien calls him in the car, asking him about the tell him why he's going to get in touch with his mom?
I don't know if it's that scene, but yeah, the
What was that
roles
from?
there,
Batman Hush?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a funny scene.
It's in here. It's in here. I don't know which one of these videos it is. I mean, let's take a poll. Do you vote? Do you guys want to see more of those? Is that boring or is that cool? You want to watch those or not?
No, I was run them. Run them.
Yeah.
It's a tribute. Run it.
I know.
Run it.
It is a tribute. Yeah, it is a tribute.
Run it.
So we got to play tribute. Let's get it popping.
All right, let's get it
Run
popping.
it. Run it.
What are you talking about?
Boom.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
No, you won't.
I love this one. This is one of my favorites, just because of the art style and all that.
You're MCU, aren't you? Gordon Squad.
Lieutenant Gordon is a good judge of character.
I've got you, Miss Vela.
You certainly do.
The brave and the bold. There you go. If you guys want to talk, you can unmute your mic.
You sprayed this other Batman with a polymer compound to shield him from rodon exposure?
Correct,
Oh,
Elsie.
that's where that goofy.
That's
Kevin. That's
Frankly, it's
right.
a
That's
relief
Kevin
not to have
Conroy. He
them.
voiced
It's too easy to
Batman
depend on
Zeta
them and forget.
What?
Right.
He never voiced Batman. Yeah, he never voiced Batman in.
My
Baseball.
favorite, one of my favorites of all time. This movie.
Yeah. Oh, this one?
I don't know what
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite
Batman,
Batman
Public
Superman
Enemy?
film all time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this joint. Yeah, this joint is dope.
Oh, I didn't see this one yet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it
Oh,
out.
bro.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
bro,
so
you
good.
missing out. Yeah, it's real good.
Say
Yeah,
no more. It's on the list.
yeah, you miss. Yeah, you missing out.
Yeah.
All I see is a
Yes.
psycho who's latched onto an excuse to kill
Oh
me,
wait.
and who's so stupid he doesn't realize he's being used by.
Oh no, I think I did see this. It was dope. Yeah, I think I
Get
did
back
see
to
that
the
one.
mainland. It's too dangerous here.
I don't like leaving you here.
Yep, the Zen Law. Yep, I've
Radio
seen that
claims
one.
he's planted bombs all over Gotham. Gotham will panic.
It's the Arkham.
Yo, with the
joint.
Zeta
There.
Yeah, because the Zeta
Yeah.
that's like a that's a
No,
persona.
it's-
Spain called Dr. Young
They just did a
Bruja.
costume with that one.
What does
Yeah.
it mean?
Or a
It's
comic
Spanish.
rather, with that Brave and the Bold. Yeah. All right, let me see. All right, here go the next one.
Which? It's over, Darkseid. Even you must
gotta
realize the
unmute your
folly
mic
of being
again.
a king without a kingdom.
I doubt the battle between the two Kryptonians
Second
will bring
favorite.
about such destruction.
Yeah, this one's
I'm
dope.
not talking about them. Your armory, the Hellspores, they've been activated.
Impossible.
YouTube just shit on me.
Oh, they blocked it.
Yep.
It was a matter of time.
How, man? Like how? Like
Shit.
I guess you
Matter of
can't
time.
put it up. You know what it is, Reno? I think I found out we can't do it live. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to just put it up on the channel as a montage. You know, we can. You know what? Everybody in the chat, Reno, put it up as our tribute to Kevin.
No,
Conroy,
I don't think they can
and you
even
guys
hear
can go
us.
watch it.
I don't think they can hear us.
Oh, can they? Hear
Oh,
us?
did they shut down the stream?
It says stream unavailable, stream suspended for policy violations. And I don't even get it because like it's not even monetized. I purposely
That
did
was
not
fast.
monetize these. So
Let's
I don't know.
see.
But all right, fuck. I guess I gotta end this broadcast and start a new one. Shit.
Let's see. Ask them, can they hear us? Reno? Can anybody hear us? Can anybody can hear us?
I mean,
Chat.
yeah, if you can hear us, say something in the chat, but I don't think they can. They can't. No.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's dead. All right.
Yeah, no, I just played it on my phone. It's